Hi friends, I have 30 days of crockpot cooking that I am sharing with you today. Hi, my name's Molly. If you're new to my channel, thanks so much for being here. I love using my crockpot. I use it for everything, breakfast, dinner, desserts, appetizers. But today I'm sharing with you 30 crockpot dinner recipes that are quick and easy. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you love dump and go recipes as much as I do. So let me share with you these 30 recipes. I'm gonna list them in the description box so you can jump straight to one because there's so many, but I'm gonna list them in the description box, so check that out. Let me share with you these really awesome 30 dump and go crockpot recipes. I am first going to be sharing with you a pineapple teriyaki chicken, and this is really great, really easy, just a few ingredients. So I have my 2 chicken breasts that I diced up a bit. I have this teriyaki sauce, and I have some pineapple chunks, which are just such a great pairing with chicken and teriyaki sauce. So really easy, dump and go. Just add these 3 simple ingredients into your crock pot. I'm going to cook up a side of zucchini as well for this meal, and it just can't be beat. Really easy. Here's the chicken after it's been cooking. You can cook it on high for 3 to 4 hours or on low for 7 to 8 hours, whichever you have time for. And it just comes out great, nice and tender. So I'm going to serve this with my zucchini and also a side of rice as well. It goes really great with this teriyaki sauce. And this is a wonderful crockpot meal that is super easy. All of my crockpot meals are very simple, very easy, really yummy, saves tons of time. I have a pork loin and I have an onion. I'm going to add some sliced onion to the bottom of my crock pot. Just slice it up and add it to the bottom. I'm going to add in my pork loin, and this is an applewood bacon smoked pork loin. You can get an unseasoned pork loin and season it yourself to your liking. And I'm going to add in 2 cups of broth onto the bottom. I'm using a chicken broth. You can use a vegetable broth as well if you'd like. I'm going to cook it on low for 7 to 8 hours. Look how delicious this comes out. It comes out so perfect, cooking all day. You can cook this on high if you'd like, also for 3 to 4 hours. But it is just a really great dinner that the whole family loves this one. We love pork loin, and it comes out so great in the crock pot. I'm going to be doing a chicken and stuffing for this one. It's really great. So I have chicken, I have frozen vegetables, cream of chicken, soup. This one it's just got everything right here in it. It's got your chicken and your veggies, and it's gonna have the stuffing on top. So I love this. It's just a 1-pot dump and go, super easy. I'm gonna mix this kind of together so that the cream of chicken gets onto everything and on top as well. So mixing this chicken up with that sauce. I have my boxed stuffing mix, and I just use Great Value. You can use stovetop stuffing mix also if you'd like. I'm going to add in some water. I have 1.5 cups of water. I'm going to stir this into the stuffing mix and just soak up these little breadcrumbs and the seasonings. And I'm then going to add it to the top of my crock pot. So this is just, like I said, it's a whole dinner all in one, which is so perfect. You've got the chicken and the stuffing and the veggies, and you can just dump this in and go, and then your dinner is ready at the end of the night. So just an awesome, great meal. Just absolutely love this one. Tons of flavor with this stuffing mix as well. I'm going to do ribs. I love doing ribs in the crock pot. They just could not be easier. So I have my rack of ribs, and I have some barbecue sauce. It is just 2 things and you are set. I love ribs. I'm not big on barbecuing outside. My husband can do the barbecuing, but I like to do the crock pot cooking. And if we're just craving ribs and he's not able to do the barbecue, this is such an easy way. They turn out so good. My whole family loves these. They fall off the bone, and you don't have to worry about them on the barbecue. So I'm going to cook them on low for 7 to 8 hours, or you can do on high as well. But look how tender this is. Like I said, it's just fall off the bone. So I have to kind of scoop it out kind of gingerly so that it doesn't all fall apart right away. So these bones just come out. The meat is so tender and amazing. And you can use your favorite barbecue sauce for this one. I just had some Traeger barbecue sauce that we're going to use for this one. So I'm just going to pull out these ribs and cut them off of the rack so that they're individual. And this is such a great way to make the ribs, and it just cannot be easier. So really definitely recommend doing your ribs this way if you don't want to have to watch them on the barbecue. This is such a great way to toss them into the crock pot, and you can have some delicious ribs at the end of the day. So these are a huge hit, and you just can't go wrong. So a really great crock pot thing to make. Highly recommend making these. So good. If you're new to my channel, make sure you click subscribe. I have a lot of crock pot recipes. As you can tell, I'm doing 30 for you today, and I have more coming. So I just love using my crock pot. I just love meatball recipes in the crock pot. This one is super easy. It's Hawaiian meatballs. Frozen meatballs, 2 bell peppers. I'm using red and green, and a can of pineapple chunks. And you can add in, I'm using a brown monk fruit sweetener, 1 cup, but you can use regular brown sugar also if you'd like. I also have 1 cup of soy sauce as well, so adding that in. This is such a great Hawaiian flavor with the soy sauce and the pineapple, just really yummy. This comes out so good. We love this one. It is easy, delicious, and I just love the crock pot coming home to a really yummy meal at the end of a long day. So this one is definitely a huge hit. This butter chicken is also a huge hit. I love this butter chicken simmer sauce. It says that it's mild here on the can, but it has a little bit of a kick to it. I have tomato sauce, I have evaporated milk, I have my onion and some seasonings, and 2 chicken breasts for this one. So I am just going to dump all of this into the crock pot. Really easy. All of these recipes are dump and go, which I just love. And I'm adding in my chicken, adding in my diced up onion. I'm going to add in about a teaspoon of each of my seasonings, and you can customize this to your taste, of course. So I have paprika, I have garlic powder, and some onion powder. And I'm going to, like I said, add in about a teaspoon of each of these. I'm going to add in this butter chicken simmer sauce. And this brand, they make a few different simmer sauces. This one is definitely my favorite, but they do have a few different ones, and I have tried them and they're all good, but this one's absolutely delicious. I'm adding in a can of tomato sauce as well, and this is going to be a really awesome sauce with this chicken. And then I like to serve it with a side of rice to soak up that sauce. It is really awesome. Have my added in my evaporated milk. I'm going to give this a little stir before I cook it. You can cook this on low for 7 to 8 hours or on high for 3 to 4 hours, whichever you have time for. I love that you can start these at the very beginning of your day if you're going to be out of the house all day, or sometimes I start these in the early afternoon, right after lunch, and so that it's ready for dinner time. I can cook it on high. So I love these crock pot recipes, just throwing it all in ahead of time and then having dinner ready for you when you are ready for it. So this has been cooking 7 to 8 hours on low. And like I said, this sauce is just so good. It has tons and tons of flavor, and it's got a little bit of a kick to it, which is just delicious. So I have my rice, and I'm going to add this onto my plate. I'm going to get some sauce to soak up with that rice because, like I said, it's so good. So really easy dump and go. Very few ingredients for this one, and it is a really big hit. Definitely one of on repeat at our house. I always try to keep a can of that sauce in my pantry. So I'm going to be doing a Marry Me chicken. I have my chicken breast cut up into some smaller pieces. You don't have to cut it up into smaller pieces, but I'd like to just get it cooked all the way through and everything can be soaking in these awesome sauces. I have my Italian seasoning. I have my minced up garlic as well. I'm going to add in some sun-dried tomatoes, which I absolutely love sun-dried tomatoes. They're definitely one of my favorite things. I have half a cup, and I have the oil kind of drained from that. I have my better than bouillon that I'm going to make with my chicken broth. I love better than bouillon for chicken broth and beef broth. I have 2 cups of that I'm going to add in, and this is just so great with the sun-dried tomatoes, like I said, so good. I'm adding in a cup of heavy whipping cream also to make this nice and creamy, and it is going to be amazing. Definitely a really great way to mix up chicken. We have chicken a lot. You see a lot of chicken in our recipe, in my recipes, and I love to mix up the different flavors so that we don't get bored with it. But we really love chicken, and I just love that you can customize it to make lots of different flavors. Everything is just great and just a fun way to mix things up. So here is this Marry Me chicken. It's been cooking and it is so good. This sauce is really, really great. So I love serving this with rice or noodles for that sauce. Definitely amazing. You will love this one. Super easy. I'm actually doing cauliflower rice to make it a little bit more low carb for this one, but it's just really great. I'm going to do a taco pasta. This one is just, it's easy because I pre-make my taco meat. So I have 1 pound of taco meat with my taco seasoning cooked up. I pre-make it and I freeze it. And we have tacos quite often. My kids love tacos. So I make big batches. I do 3 pounds at a time and portion it out to 1 pound portions. So we always have a stock of taco meat in our freezer. I have some of my favorite Southwest blend veggies. This is so good. I love it in burrito bowls and any kind of like Tex-Mex type recipes. So I'm going to use 1 cup of these frozen veggies. I'm going to give this a little stir, and so great with kind of like a different Southwest version for this one. And so I'm going to let this cook. Once it's done, I'm going to add in the noodles after it's been cooking. So it cooked on low. You can do 7 to 8 hours, whichever you have time for. And it's just comes out really great. This would also be a really great type of soup. But like I said, this is going to be a pasta. So I have my elbow pasta, and this just cooks really great in this nice hot like liquid that's been cooking all day. So I'm gonna give it a stir. I'm gonna add in a cup of Fiesta blend cheese as well to make this nice and cheesy and creamy. I'm gonna give this a little stir, and then I'm gonna add the lid back on, and I'm gonna let this cook for about another 30 minutes, and these noodles will cook into this liquid. It'll be so good. Look how yummy it is. Just a really great taco pasta. Really great to mix it up on our taco nights because like I said, we do a lot of taco nights. So this one is really, really delicious. I'm going to do some pork chops. I love doing pork chops in the crock pot. It's a really great way to mix it up from our normal chicken. So I have my 4 pork chops. I have some minced garlic as well. I have half a cup of milk. This is really easy, very simple ingredients. I have some grated Parmesan cheese that I'm going to just layer over the top of these pork chops. I have some Italian seasoning as well. And I'm going to add on about a teaspoon. I'm going to cook these on low for 7 to 8 hours. Like I said, you can always do high for 3 to 4 hours also. And these come out so good. I really just love, like I said, mixing things up from chicken. So this is just a really great version, and they're so yummy. Huge hit with our family. I love this one. Very, very easy, very simple and delicious. So I'm going to be doing a chicken corn chowder. I have 2 chicken breasts. I have a can of corn. I have some chopped up carrots, a can of green chilies. I have some garlic powder seasoning, some onion powder seasoning, about a teaspoon of each. I have some pepper as well, and I have some heavy whipping cream. I'm going to use my whole container of heavy whipping cream. I have my better than bouillon to make my broth, so I have 2 cups of broth. And this is going to be so creamy. I just love it. I love making soups in my crock pot. I am a huge, huge fan of soups, and the crock pot just makes the best soups. They are super easy as well. So I'm going to take out this chicken. It's all steamy, and this chicken is so tender, but I'm going to take it out so that I can shred it up and put it back into this awesome soup. So I have my favorite kitchen gadget in the universe. You guys have seen this on my channel a lot because I use it literally all the time. Under $10 for this little chicken shredder on Amazon, and It is so great. It is just, it's fun. It makes the chicken just perfect. So I love it for soups. We do a lot of like shredded chicken sandwiches. So it's really, really great. I'm going to link the chicken shredder in the description box because I absolutely love it. And you should definitely get yourself one if you want to do any kind of shredded chicken recipes. It just makes it so perfect. So I add my chicken back in, and this soup is really, really good. It is so nice and hearty and creamy and perfect for cold days. It has been cold here, so this soup has been so, so good. I'm also going to do another soup. I'm going to do a chicken noodle soup to share with you. And this is one of my favorites. We have this one on repeat. My kids love this one. It is amazing. So I have 2 chicken breasts. I have my cut up little baby carrots. I have my seasonings as well. You can add celery into this if you'd like. I'm not adding celery today because we're not big celery fans, but you can definitely add celery into this. I have 6 cups of chicken broth. I'm going to cook this on low for 7 to 8 hours, and the chicken comes out so good. The carrots come out so nice and tender. So I'm going to remove my chicken, and I'm going to shred it, of course, again. But while I remove the chicken, I'm going to add in the noodles. So I'm going to use egg noodles for this. I just think it goes great with a chicken noodle. So I'm adding in 4 cups of egg noodles, and then I'll put the lid back on and let this cook for about 30 minutes. It'll cook these noodles up perfectly, and then once the noodles are done, I can add the shredded chicken back in. So I'm just putting this lid back on, and I will get the chicken ready. So I have, once again, my favorite chicken shredder. I'm just cutting these chickens in half so that they can fit very easily into the chicken shredder. So I love that these little spikes on the chicken shredder, and you just kind of like push it down onto the spikes, and then there's spikes on the top as well, and you just put it on and give it a little spin, and it is good to go. So easy, so fun, just absolutely. I can't believe I didn't get this little gadget sooner, but I've had it a few months now, and oh my gosh, I just get so much use out of it. I just can't tell you how much I love it. So I'm shredding up all this chicken, and then it will be ready to go back into the soup. So the noodles are ready. They've been cooking for about 30 minutes into the nice warm crock pot. And like I said, this one is on repeat during the winter time in our house because it is amazing. Adding in this shredded chicken, and then this soup is good to go. I also love freezing soup as well. The Crockpot makes really big batches of soup, so it makes about 6 servings. If we don't eat it all, we can definitely have it for leftovers, which I love leftovers. Crockpot meal leftovers are so good, but I also freeze it as well in individual servings. So I'm going to be doing some meatballs. I love doing meatballs in the Crockpot. These are going to be some Swedish meatballs, which is one of our family's favorites. I always have a big bag of frozen meatballs on hand in our freezer. They're just so convenient, and there's so many ways you can use them. I did a video on all my different frozen meatball recipes, so make sure you check that out on my channel. And I just love frozen meatballs, so I use them a lot in lots of different things. So I have 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce. I have a can of cream of chicken and a cup of beef broth. I'm also adding in some brown gravy mix as well. This sauce for these Swedish meatballs is really, really yummy, and I just love the sauces that you can make and cook your meatballs or your chicken in with the crock pot. So I'm going to add in cornstarch for this to thicken up this sauce, kind of like a gravy, and this will be so great. So you can add in 2 to 3 tablespoons of the cornstarch, and then this will be awesome. Give it a little stir. I'm going to cook this all day. Meatballs are so great when you cook them all day. They just become so tender and so full of flavor in whatever sauce or broth you're cooking them in. So definitely a huge hit. And look at this yummy gravy with this. It is so great. So I'm going to serve this with some egg noodles. Perfect dinner. And like I said, always lots of leftovers, so I love that as well. So I'm going to be doing a sweet potato turkey chili. So I have ground turkey that I have cooked up. You can use ground beef if you'd like. I have a sweet potato diced up, some kidney beans, some great northern beans washed and drained. I have a small can of tomato sauce I'm going to add in. I have some seasonings. I'm going to add in garlic powder, about a teaspoon. I have ground cumin, about a teaspoon of ground cumin. Paprika, the same, about a teaspoon. And I have some chili powder, about a teaspoon on this. And so do a little bit less or a little bit more if you would like on those. I have 2 cups of beef broth that I'm going to add in. Give this a stir. I absolutely love chilies and I make a lot of different versions, but this one is so great with the sweet potatoes. I have been on a major sweet potato kick lately, so I really, really love this one. So I cook this on low for 7 to 8 hours. You can definitely do it on high for 3 to 4 hours also if you would like. And this is just so good and it is so nice and hearty, so filling, but super healthy at the same time with the ground turkey and the sweet potatoes. I'm going to add on a little sour cream and it is good to go. I'm going to be doing chicken fajitas. We love chicken fajitas, and so this is a really easy way to dump all of this in the morning, and then you have fajitas ready for you at night for dinner. So I made 2 chicken breasts. I have orange bell pepper, green bell pepper, onion that I'm going to slice up. I'm going to add in some olive oil and some fajita seasoning and give this a little toss. And then this is just ready to go. So like I said, just dump it all in the morning, set it on low to cook, and then you have a really awesome dinner at the end of the day. Crockpot cooking, I think, is so easy. I love easy meals. I don't like to complicate things. I like to have good food on the table for my family each night. So I love using the crock pot because it really saves me a lot of time and a lot of effort. I can spend more time with my family, more time with my kids doing the things we want to do. So this is just a really great easy meal. Serve it with some rice and beans and you are good to go. This is going to be a crack chicken crock pot recipe with cream cheese, cream of mushroom, cheddar cheese, better than bouillon. I have some ranch seasoning and some bacon pieces as well. So I love anything with bacon and ranch. So this one is really, really good. And the cream cheese makes it creamy and delicious as well. So I love cream cheese in crock pot recipes. It just is rich and it makes everything just creamy and so good. So I'm just breaking into some smaller pieces to add into the crock pot, adding it on top of my cut up chicken, my 2 chicken breasts. I'm adding in a can of cream of chicken. So another thing that's going to make this super nice and creamy. I have a tablespoon that I'm going to use of ranch seasoning. You can just use a ranch packet if you would like. I'm going to add in a cup of shredded cheddar cheese as well. And I have my chicken broth, 1 cup of chicken broth. I'm going to add in the bacon as well. So I have these bacon pieces, and you can definitely cook up your own bacon and chop it up if you'd like, about half a cup. I'm going to give this a little bit of a stir. I'm not going to mix that great with the cream cheese yet because it's not melted yet, but I am going to cook this on low for 7 to 8 hours, or you can cook it on high for 3 to 4 hours as well. So this is going to be delicious and ready to go at the end of the day. So creamy and yummy and really so good with tons and tons of flavor. Anything, like I said, with bacon and ranch is a huge hit. This sauce is just to die for. So good and so easy. So I'm going to kind of stir this around and break up any clumps of cream cheese that there are left. I'm going to serve this with some rice. And I just love serving rice with a nice gravy to soak up with that rice. So delicious and so easy. I'm going to be doing chicken thighs. It's going to be a white chicken chili. And you can use chicken breast if you like, but chicken thighs with this is definitely a huge hit. I'm going to add in some mild green salsa, about a cup. I had these 2 are substituted in my grocery pickup order, so it's 2 smaller cans, but it would be about 1 cup of this mild green salsa. I have great northern beans washed and drained, kidney beans washed and drained. I have my favorite Southwest blend, just frozen. I try and keep one in my freezer at all times. 1 cup of that. I have 1 cup of chicken broth as well. And I give this a little bit of a mix, and it is just so great. Like I mentioned, I love soups. I love chilies, and I really love making them in my crock pot because it makes a really great big batch. And I can have lots of leftovers for this for lunches, and I can freeze some also. So I love how this makes a nice big batch. These chicken thighs are so tender. I am just shredding them with my tongs just right here in my crock pot. You can take it out and you can use the chicken shredder or even a mixer if you'd like, but it just is so tender. I'm just shredding it right in my pot. So after this is all shredded, all this nice chicken that is really so good. After that's all shredded, I'm going to add in a brick of cream cheese, and this is going to make this chili amazing. It's going to be nice and creamy, and anything with cream cheese is absolutely amazing, of course. But I'm just going to give this a little stir. I'm going to put the lid back on and let this cream cheese sit in here for about 20 to 30 minutes. It'll get nice and soft, and then once it's all done, I'll give this a stir, and I'll break up all of the little clumps of the cream cheese. And this is rich, delicious, huge hit. I love making this for a crowd because everyone absolutely loves this. They're always asking for the recipe, which of course I'll put the recipe in the description box. It's super good. So I'm going to make some Marry Me meatballs. I already made the Marry Me chicken, and I love making this meatball version as well. I have 2 cups of beef broth with my frozen meatballs. I have some heavy whipping cream, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. I have cornstarch to thicken up this sauce. So you can do 2 to 3 tablespoons of cornstarch. I have my sun-dried tomatoes, which I mentioned I just love sun-dried tomatoes. So I'm taking them out of this olive oil. I'm going to use about half a cup of sun-dried tomatoes. I'm going to add in some garlic powder as well. I have some dried basil, about a teaspoon of each. Give this a little stir to mix up these sauces, mix up this cornstarch, and then this is ready to cook on low for 7 to 8 hours or on high for 3 to 4 hours. So good, so much awesome flavor with these sun-dried tomatoes, and just a really great dump and go. The meatballs are so easy to dump and go and just makes dinner so easy, which I absolutely love. And the flavors, you just can't beat. They are amazing. So I'm going to serve this with a side of rice, and we do a side salad as well. But like I said, this sauce is amazing, and it goes just so great with the rice. And the sun-dried tomatoes are just a huge hit for this one. So I'm going to be doing a garlic Parmesan with this Parmesan garlic sauce. This is by Buffalo Wild Wings sauce, and it has a little bit of a kick to it. There's red pepper flakes in the sauce, so it has a little bit of a kick, and it's so delicious. I'm going to add in a brick of cream cheese, and this is going to make this so good, creamy, and amazing. This is definitely one of my favorites. It's definitely very rich as well, but it is really tasty. So I have my 2 chicken breasts in there. This is gonna make about 4 to 5 servings. And I'm gonna serve this with some protein pasta, which is my favorite with this creamy sauce. And it is just really good. This one I have on repeat for sure because it is amazing. I'm gonna give this great sauce a stir and break up all these cream cheese clumps and make it nice and smooth. So you just got to kind of keep stirring for a while. I'm also going to break up some of these chicken pieces, make them smaller. You can take it out and shred the chicken pieces as well if you would like. But I'm just going to break them up into smaller pieces and make sure they're all coated with this amazing sauce. And so like I said, I like to serve this with some protein pasta. Amazing, so good, and so easy as well. I'm going to do some chicken burrito bowls. I have 2 chicken breasts. I have a can of Rotel tomatoes with the diced green chilies. I'm going to add in my diced green chilies. And I just love this combination of chicken, chilies, Rotel. It's so good. So I'm just going to kind of stir this around a bit Really, really easy. You don't need anything else. And I'm going to cook this chicken on low for 7 to 8 hours. And then I will shred it all up and add in the rest of the ingredients for my burrito bowls. So look how easily this chicken shreds after it's been cooking, and it just cooks in its own juices and just with the rotel and the diced green chilies. So really, really simple. Just dump those couple things in, and then you have this really awesome shredded chicken. So you can use the chicken shredder for this if you'd like, or just shred it right in the crock pot. So I have some corn that I love in burrito bowls. I have some lentils, which is one of my favorite things to add into burrito bowls. High in fiber, high in protein, and just definitely one of my favorites. Black beans. We eat a lot of black beans in our house. My husband is a huge black bean fan. So I'm going to wash and drain these black beans. I'm going to give all of this a big stir. So these are all our favorite burrito bowl ingredients. So you can add this to your bowl. You can top with some avocado, some sour cream, some shredded cheddar cheese. You can also add this into a tortilla as well to make a really delicious burrito. But this is definitely something that we have all the time, super easy. I'm going to do a cheesy sausage and potato. Doesn't get any easier than this one for sure. I'm going to chop up my sausage, chop up my potato, and I have an onion as well. I'm adding in a can of cheddar cheese. It's like a cream of cheese. And this stuff has a really awesome flavor, and it's just perfect in this crock pot. It makes everything so creamy and good. I'm adding in a cup of milk also. I love doing potatoes in the crock pot. They come out so nice and tender. So I love potato recipes in the crock pot. This one is so hearty, definitely an amazing comfort food for this. So just dump it all in. You are ready to go. This one has everything in it for you already. It's got your meat and your potatoes, and it just comes out so cheesy and creamy. Like I said, this one is easy and is a huge hit with my family. So I love this one. I'm going to be doing some chicken. I have some shredded chicken sandwiches. I'm going to do some barbecue chicken. So I have our favorite Sweet Baby Ray's with our 2 chicken breasts. So I have that. I'm going to add in some creamy Italian dressing. So I have about a 1/4 cup of each of the barbecue sauce and the Italian dressing. I'm also going to add in some Worcestershire sauce as well. I love the flavor of Worcestershire sauce. So I'm going to be adding this into my shredded chicken sandwiches. So I have about 2 tablespoons of that. And then I'm going to add in some garlic powder as well. Really simple, dump and go, really great flavor. This shredded chicken, once it's done, it's really great on sandwiches. It's really great on salads as well. So a lot of options for this one. So I cooked it on low for 7 to 8 hours, or of course you can do it on high for 3 to 4 hours. And so this chicken is so nice and tender. I'm just going to shred it up with my fork and tongs, and it's all nice in its juices. I have a little toasted bun you can add it onto. I like to add some more barbecue sauce also on top. Sometimes we add a little slice of cheese also on these barbecue chicken sandwiches. So definitely customizable and just a huge hit for our whole family. My kids love these. My husband loves these. So we make this shredded chicken all the time to have nice big batches of. And like I've mentioned before, I love crockpot cooking because it makes big servings and we can have lots of leftovers. So we can have leftovers for dinner the next night or for lunches. That my husband and I both eat a lot of leftovers for our lunches. I'm doing a pot roast. I have my roast. I have 2 cans of cream of mushroom, and the gravy on this pot roast is Definitely one of my favorites. I'm using a beef broth, but this is the version of pot roast that my mom always made when I was growing up. And so this is the one that I have on repeat for me and my family because I just love it. I think that what makes it really great for me is this onion soup mix packet. So much awesome flavor, really easy. I love using this Lipton onion soup mix in so many different recipes, but it is really easy and delicious in this pot roast. I'm going to give this a stir with the cream of mushroom, the broth, and the soup mix. I'm going to add in some baby carrots, about a cup of baby carrots. And I'm also going to add in a diced up potato as well. And then you have your whole dinner here all in the crock pot. And it's just amazing to have everything ready at the end of the day. And it's delicious. Like I said, the gravy on this one is a huge, huge hit. I absolutely love it. And I love how easy it is. So give this a little stir. You can cook this on low for 7 to 8 hours or on high for 3 to 4 hours also, of course. And this one is really great. Just an awesome dump and go, easy meal. Put that lid on and you are all set. And it's going to cook super good for 7 to 8 hours on low. Here it is, and you just tear apart that pot roast, that meat. It just shreds so easily, and it is so, so good in this amazing, amazing gravy. I'm going to do a pork loin in the crock pot, another version that I love to do. So I have my onion that I've sliced. I'm going to put on the bottom of the crock pot. And then once this onion is all sliced up, I'm going to add on my pork loin. And this is my favorite one. I always am getting this applewood smoked bacon pork loin. I love green beans as well. So I'm adding in some green beans to the side. So this is going to be so wonderful with everything ready all in the crock pot. So adding in the green beans and the meat and everything, then you're ready to go at the end of the day, which is definitely my version of an easy dinner. I have my better than bouillon that I'm going to make 2 cups of chicken broth that I'm going to pour over the veggies. And then I'm also going to add on my favorite seasoning. This is the Kinder's cracked Parmesan pepper seasoning, and I just love it on veggies. It is so tasty. So I'm going to kind of get in there and get that seasoning onto these green beans. I'm going to cook this on low for 7 to 8 hours. Everything is ready for dinner all in one, which makes it so easy to have the veggies in here also. So this is the pork loin all sliced up. Absolutely delicious. Comes out so good. Huge, huge hit for the whole family. So we love pork loin. I'm going to do some stuffed peppers. I have some foil that I kind of rolled into some kind of like tube type pieces. If you have a rack, you can put a rack on the bottom of your crock pot. My rack just doesn't fit my crock pot very well, so I'm using foil, and I added on a cup of water onto the bottom, so it's going to help steam these peppers. And these are so easy. I love stuffed peppers, and this version just doesn't get any easier than in the crock pot. So I'm setting in my peppers on top of my crumbled up foil. I'm adding in my mixture. I have some ground turkey. I have some riced cauliflower. I have Southwest blend veggies that I'm going to use 1 cup of. And this is such a great mixture, keeping it nice and healthy with this riced cauliflower as well. I have some taco seasoning. I buy this big container because we do so many different taco flavored recipes, Tex-Mex, Southwest type recipes. So 1 tablespoon of that. I'm going to give this a nice mix around this cauliflower rice and the ground turkey. You can use ground beef also if you'd like for this. I love ground turkey because it's so lean and it's not greasy. So I am just going to stir all that up, add it into my cleaned out stuffed peppers. And this is so great. These come out so good. I love that stuffed peppers just has everything right inside, and it's like your whole meal all in one, which is so wonderful. I absolutely love that. So I'm going to fill each one of these up. I'm going to top this with some Fiesta blend cheese. You can use your favorite cheese blend. So just a little bit on top of each of these. These stuffed peppers are so easy. I love stuffed peppers, but they're kind of a process for me. And so this version is a huge hit. I love how easy it is. I love how everything cooks together and you don't have to really mess up a whole bunch of dishes either, which is always a plus. You can even use a liner in your crock pot if you didn't want to have to clean out your crock pot, which those are so convenient. But here's the bell peppers. Turn out so, so good. You can top with some sour cream if you want, or avocado. Delicious. So I'm going to be doing an onion soup mix with chicken. And I mentioned earlier I love onion soup mix in a lot of different things. I use it in my crock pot or in my pot roast that I just love. But I'm adding it into chicken this time, and this is one of my favorites. So I have my packet of onion soup mix, my can of cream of chicken, my 2 chicken breasts. I have 2 cups of chicken broth. I'm gonna mix this all together. Amazing flavor with the Lipton onion soup mix packet. It's just full of flavor, so it's so good. I'm gonna cook this. This is cooked on low for 7 to 8 hours. This gravy is amazing. So I have it with our favorite sides are rice and broccoli, which is our go-tos. My whole family is rice and broccoli fans, so I definitely make rice and broccoli for a lot of our side dishes. So now I have these French fried onions, and this really makes this dish really amazing. It gives it that crunch, but the flavor, these things are so flavorful. I just absolutely love them. It makes this dish so, so good. So I have some chicken. I'm going to do a Santa Fe chicken, and this one's one of my favorites. We love chicken type taco burrito bowls, Santa Fe styles chickens, and just always on huge repeats at our house. So I have all of our favorites, our Rotel tomatoes, black beans, corn, taco seasoning. And I'm going to give this a little stir, and we love anything that's high protein. So burrito type bowls or the Santa Fe chicken is a huge hit with us. So absolutely love it. Here it is. It's been cooking on low for 7 to 8 hours. Give it a mix, kind of shred up that chicken just a little bit. It's already in small pieces. Serve this with a side of rice, or you can put this into a tortilla, or you can serve it just on itself as well. I'm going to do an orange chicken. Tons of flavor in this one, and I'm using a sugar-free orange marmalade to try and keep our meals as healthy as we can. I love trying to find good sugar-free options on different things. I also have this sugar-free barbecue sauce, this G. Hughes brand, and they make the best sauces. They make an amazing teriyaki sauce also, so I love this brand. If you're looking for sugar-free sauces, definitely check them out. I get it at my Walmart, so should be available at most places. Give it a big stir. I'm going to add my broccoli into the top, and then this way our dinner will be ready. I'm going to spray with some vegetable oil on top of this broccoli. I'm going to add in some seasonings as well, just a little bit of garlic powder here. I'm going to cook this on low for 7 to 8 hours, or you can do on high for 3 to 4 hours. So everything is ready to go. Of course, we have our side of rice. Like I said, we do a lot of rice and broccoli. So it is what we like. And so I try and mix it up with different flavors so we don't get bored of it, but it is our favorite. I'm going to add on some sesame seeds for a little garnishment. This is so wonderful. I'm going to do a loaded cauliflower soup. Like I mentioned earlier, I love soup in the crock pot. It just makes amazing soups and so easy to dump it all in and go. I have this fully cooked bacon, which is convenient. Parmesan cheese, better than bouillon for my chicken broth. Onion, I have shredded cheddar cheese as well, and my cauliflower and heavy whipping cream. So I'm just gonna dump all of this into my crock pot. It doesn't get any easier than this, and this soup is so hearty and so delicious. It is perfect. I love soup in the wintertime. We just do a lot of soup, so this one is very, very good. So I've chopped up my cauliflower. I have 2 cups of shredded cheddar cheese. This is gonna be nice and cheesy and delicious. My better than bouillon to make my chicken broth. I have 2 cups of chicken broth. You can do a vegetable broth also for this if you'd like. I have 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. I have my grated Parmesan cheese. I'm going to do 1/4 cup of the grated Parmesan cheese. my diced onion as well. And like I said, this is just a really easy dump and go. I'm gonna chop up my bacon, or you can use the bacon that's already chopped up that I sometimes get from Costco, but this is super convenient also. So just cutting it up with my scissors, give this a little stir. This will cook on low for 7 to 8 hours, or you can cook it on high for 3 to 4 hours. It is amazing. It is so delicious, so creamy and rich with the cheese as well, but it cooks so great. So 7 to 8 hours on low, and then this soup will be ready to go at the end of the day. So once it has been cooking, here it is all cooked, I'm going to mash it up, mash this cauliflower up to make it nice and creamy. You can use your immersion blender if you like. I'm just using my ground beef masher because I don't want to mix up the bacon too much. So I'm just using my masher. It's gonna make this nice and creamy. But like I said, you can use your immersion blender also. I'm going to be making some macaroni and cheese in the crock pot. This is such a great thing to make in the crock pot. It is perfect if you're having people over and you want to keep that mac and cheese nice and warm in the crock pot. So this is perfect. So I have my noodles. I have a brick of cream cheese. This is going to be really creamy and rich. I have my heavy whipping cream. I have evaporated milk that I'm going to add in, which is really going to give it a really good kind of sweetness. I'm going to add in my shredded cheddar cheese, and I have 4 cups. I shredded the cheddar cheese myself. I just feel like it melts a little bit better and nice and smooth when you grate the cheese yourself, or you can use regular grated cheese that you get at the store as well if you would like. So 4 cups of shredded cheddar cheese, and I give it a stir. And it's not going to stir that well because the cream cheese is not softened and the noodles are hard as well. But this is going to take about 4 hours, and I like to stir it about every half an hour if I can because it's so creamy, and I want to mix around the cream cheese and the shredded cheddar cheese as well. So really delicious, huge hit with my kids. They're huge mac and cheese fans, so this one is just really great to have into your rotation. So super good, creamy, like I said, look how creamy and rich this is. Huge, huge hit. And this is perfect if you're having like some kids and families over, a really great way to feed those kids. And it's great for the adults too because it has got awesome flavor. I hope that you loved these 30 crockpot meals. They're so fun to share with you. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you're new. All the recipes will be in the description box also, so check that out and leave me a comment if you have any questions. I hope that you have a great day, and I will see you in my next video.